Today we got Obito's strength don't make any sense. I've seen a few people say this. But yeah, we gonna see. Make sure to like the video and subscribe, and let's get into it.
Obito's growth and strength is one of the most insanely fast ones in the Naruto series, going from an unremarkable mid-level chunin at most at the age of 13 to someone who was able to fight against Minato, the 4th Hokage, at 14. He may have lost the duel against Minato, but don't forget that at the end of the day, Minato died because of Obito. Needless to say, his growth was extremely quick. Yes,
That is something that's crazy, cause like Minato, I'm tripping. Obito was mid. Obito was a mid tuning. Um, like when he awakened his Sharingan, he got a little bit better, but to be fighting the whole Kage 1 year later is crazy, bro. Even if you are training with just, super strong people, that growth in 1 year is crazy.
We've had power jumps more massive in a shorter scale than that, such as when Sasuke got his Rinnegan and when Naruto got the 6th Path Sage Mode. That happened in like a few minutes from their previous states, and they mastered the jutsus pretty damn quick. But the previous versions of the characters, EMS Sasuke and Sage Mode KCM2 Naruto, were already pretty damn strong. Obito, on the other hand, when he was 13 years old, he was weaker than Naruto and Sasuke were in their first fight in the Valley of the End. Either Naruto or Sasuke there, who were fighting at the end of Naruto Part 1, would have stomped Obito, who was fighting alongside Kid Kakashi in the 3rd Great Ninja War. And a year later or so, Obito was without a doubt beyond the level of Kage. And you may be saying, well, actually, it took more time for Obito to become that strong, which I'll say, actually no, we can determine the ages of the characters pretty well. Kakashi was 26 years old at the beginning of the Naruto series. He turns 27 during Naruto Part 1, but he starts at 26. And we know Naruto also started at 12 years old. We know Kakashi and Obito are roughly the same age, so Obito would have been around 26 years old at the beginning of Naruto Part 1 as well. And we also know that Obito fought against Minato the day Naruto was born. So we just have to do 26 minus 12 to get that, yeah, Obito was around 14 years old at the time he fought against Minato. We also know Kakashi turned Jonin at 13 years old, and we know that happened in the Kakashi Gaiden story just before Kakashi and his team went to the Kanabi Bridge mission with Minato being their captain. So when Obito got crushed by that rock, he was 13 years old. We don't know exactly what time of the year that mission on Kanabi Bridge happened when Obito quote-unquote died, but even not knowing that, it's easy to say that the fight between Minato and Obito happened from 9 months to a year and a half after that. So on average,
Yeah, he would be 14.
about a year. Enough time for the 3rd Great Ninja War to end and Minato to become the Hokage and also get Kushina pregnant, leaving enough time for Naruto to be born. But regardless of what number you pick, it's still a pretty short amount of time for the amount of strength Obito gained. Let's compare Obito's feats from when he was a Chunin in Minato's team to when he fought against Minato and invaded the Leaf Village, taking the 9 tails out of Kushina and doing all that he did, pretty terrible stuff. It depends on who you ask, I suppose. As a Chunin, Obito was, as I said, very unremarkable. In the flashbacks we see of Kid Obito in the war arc, he is definitely below Kakashi, I mean that's obvious, but he also seems to be kinda below Rin as well. He constantly gets...
No. Okay, look, I'm not just the most Naruto, just the smartest person when it comes to Naruto, but he is not below Rin. Rin got medical ninjutsu and that's it. They never show her doing anything anything other than healing or getting saved.
Injured, he is absolutely destroyed by Might Guy in the tuning exams, and even though he becomes a Chunin at the age of 13, which is not terrible, that still happened in a period when the Leaf Village was giving a lot of promotions because they were at war. Kakashi became a Jonin at 13, so they were pretty desperate, promoting shinobis that probably shouldn't get promotions. But yeah, he became a Chunin, it's just that...
Are you trying to say Kakashi didn't deserve Jonin at 13? Cause if we being honest, off of skill alone, Kakashi at 13 is a lot more skilled than the ninja, than some of the Jonin in Naruto Part 1. So,
He wasn't a great one. I mean, in the Kakashi Gaiden flashback, we see that he can use the fireball jutsu, but Sasuke learned that jutsu when he was 7, and Itachi when he was even younger, and Obito's fireball there doesn't look all that impressive, to be fair. And yes, Obito does get more powerful when he awakens his Sharingan with 2 Tomoe. Those guys he and Kakashi were fighting in the Kakashi Gaiden flashback were actually Jonins. Obito kills one of them with a kunai slash, the one called Taiseki, the same guy who took Kakashi's left eye, and he did pretty well in conjunction with Kakashi fighting against the other one called Kako. Obito managed to read his movements with his newly awakened Sharingan and allowed Kakashi to land a slashing blow. Now yes, that guy is not defeated by them at that instant, otherwise Obito wouldn't get smashed by all the rocks because he's the one who used the jutsu to collapse the cave, which eventually quote-unquote kills Obito. And after that, Kakashi is the one who takes care of Kako after Obito's already smashed. But they were Jonins and Obito was doing pretty damn well, especially because he literally killed one of them. So obviously, just the base 2 Tomoe Sharingan's already giving Obito a pretty big boost to his powers, but obviously that's nothing compared to what Obito does.
Okay, so 2 Tomoe Chunin Obito is a decent shinobi. He's decent, but the jump he made was insane. Like, the video gonna go over it.
His masked man version, which is a year or so later. He invades the Leaf Village, captures baby Naruto, separates Minato from Kushina, extracts the Nine Tails from Kushina, controls the Nine Tails with his Sharingan, faces Minato in a 1v1, and he makes Minato sweat for his victory. Yeah, it's technically a pretty short fight, but Obito almost catches Minato with his Kamui once, and Minato himself acknowledged that, yeah, whoever hits the other one first is going to win this fight. It's going to be pretty tough, but let's do it again. And he managed to impress Minato so much that he recognized him as Madara Uchiha.
Bro, that was crazy. Okay, boom. Not only first off, he found where they was hiding Kushina. What, bro? That means you have to be in and out of the village at all times. And he didn't get caught, obviously, because they recognized his chakra or whatever. But first, he found off where Kushina was. He separated Kushina from Minato, took the Nine Tails. So that means he undid the seal on Kushina, took the Nine Tails out of her, controlled the Nine Tails. Then he's fighting Minato, like, and literally, if Minato didn't have Flying Raijin, Minato would have been over with. Obviously, that's like saying if Obito didn't have Kamui, Minato would have won easier. But Minato is so fast. Like, Minato is literally the fastest shinobi. Top 2 fastest shinobi of all time. So that's not just something everybody has. But, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what he was doing. Because even when he was in the cave with Madara, the training that he was doing, I mean, like, it wasn't crazy. It wasn't. The Hashirama cells, they do give him a boost. But not this type of boost. That is crazy. And I'm saying from what they showed us. They just showed him hitting flips. They showed him punching the wall. They didn't show him using wood saw or nothing until after he left the cave. So.
Okay, you're able to control the Nine Tails, bypass all the security systems of the village, completely unnoticed, catch everyone off guard, be very strong and almost defeat me. Yeah, you're definitely moderate, dude. Think about this. If there's anyone that could probably recognize Obito under that mask, that would be his former sensei, Minato. And to him, this guy in front of him is completely recognizable. He is Madara as far as Minato is concerned, so this just goes to show how much more powerful Obito had become. I mean, we'd be saying, yeah, Daigo, he got stronger. Duh, he got half a body's worth of Hashirama cells and Kamui. Like, obviously, anyone is gonna get more powerful if you get those 2 things. And yeah, that definitely plays a part in it. I'm not trying to say it doesn't, but it goes way beyond that. Because think about this for a second. Even if Obito had Hashirama cells and Kamui, but he wasn't fast like Minato is, he wouldn't have done anything to Minato.
That's what I'm saying. The Hashirama cells, I forgot to mention. I did mention the Mangekyo. Basically, Hashirama cells and Mangekyo, that's cool. That's fine. That is gonna make you stronger. But I don't know what he was doing. That boy was in the lab every day. Cause like to understand how strong, like he is literally controlling the strongest tailed beast. What training do you do to be able to do that? Like how is that possible? In 1 year, gang, and he spent a lot of that time recovering.
Minato would have destroyed him before he even noticed. Obito would never be able to sneak upon Minato, capture Naruto, and separate him from Kushina. And when Minato and Obito are both moving in their fight, they seem to be pretty damn relative in speed. Yes, obviously the flying Raiden is instant teleportation. Minato is gonna be faster when he uses that, but I'm talking about just physical, regular movement speed. When Minato and Obito are both moving towards each other, it feels like they're very much at the same speed. And it's not as if Minato was holding back his speed for whatever reason. He needed to win that fight as fast as he could, and he almost got captured beforehand with Kamui, so it's dangerous for him not to be moving as fast as he can. Because let's be real here, if Obito had remained with the same speed he had a few months prior, Kamui wouldn't have worked because Obito simply wouldn't be able to see Minato coming at him. He wouldn't even have time to phase or anything, he would just die. So what the hell happened? How did Obito become so much more powerful? We know Obito was the black sheep of the Uchiha clan, meaning that he was a ninja of the clan, but still, he was not exactly the most talented dude around.
I don't believe this. I think Naruto, the show, has made it seem like every Uchiha is just so exceptional. And every Uchiha, like, just has this amazing start. All of them are just so great. That's not true. Most of them are not that good. How many Uchiha awakened their Mangekyous? Not that many. How many Uchihas became Chunin and Jonin under the ages of 10? It became Jonin like before 12. Not that many. Madara, we don't count him. We already know we don't count him. But Obito didn't. He became a rogue ninja. Itachi, he did. But Sasuke became a rogue ninja before he could. But obviously there's kids that are going to the academy. Like, we gotta understand. From the time Hashirama and Madara started the Leaf Village to the time Sasuke became a rogue ninja, there were multiple Uchihas. Or I would say from the time that Madara and Hashirama made the village to before Itachi destroyed the clan, there were multiple Uchihas who went to the academy. There had to be. And none of them was just these legendary ninja like Obito, Madara, Sasuke, Itachi, Shisui. Not like those people. So
He didn't have parents. Nobody expected much of him. Even after Madara saved Obito, restored half of his body with Zetsu/Hashirama cells, and after Obito trained to strengthen the half of his body that was new, Spiral Zetsu still thought it would be better for him to fight on Obito's place against the Mist Battalion than for Obito to take care of things. When Obito was heading to the direction Kakashi and Rin were fighting against the Mist Anbu, it was thinking that Spiral Zetsu was going to take care of things, and he was probably going to fight alongside Kakashi and help them out. And Obito did not protest that, so he understood Spiral Zetsu was probably being very truthful to him. Yeah, I'm not going to be terribly useful here, but you know, you can help out. But then obviously something happens. Obito sees Kakashi's Raikiri piercing Rin's heart and awakens his Mangekyo Sharingan. And it's at that moment that everything shifts, for Obito at least. The character that used to be the black sheep of the Uchiha clan, this little boy who was a kind person that tried to help the elderly, that was essentially a Boy Scout in every single way, saw the love of his life, I guess, being killed by his new best friend in front of him. After Kakashi Kakashi had promised Obito that he would take care of Rin when Obito was dying under that massive rock. So all his repressed emotions surfaced, and he awakened the Mangekyo. But the thing is, awakening the Mangekyo, yeah, it gives Obito Kamui, which is great, one of the most OP abilities in the whole freaking series, but there's another effect. We know that because Tobirama told us when he was explaining how the Mangekyo Sharingan and another Sharingan are awakened to Sasuke. When Uchiha goes through this extreme emotion, his brain releases a special type of chakra that reflects on the eyes. And that's the thing. It's as if your brain is creating chakra out of nowhere, out of your anguish and your sadness and whatever emotion you're feeling right now. It doesn't just evolve your Sharingan, it makes your chakra more robust, powerful, and just overall voluminous. And that's also going to reflect on your physical capabilities. I mean, Obito was doing just fine against that entire Anbu battalion, and they are Anbus from the Bloody Mist Village. They are supposed to be pretty damn powerful. Yes, they're jobber characters for story purposes, but in universe, they're no joke. Obviously, Kamui allowed Obito to be much more reckless in that.
Ain't gonna lie. Yeah, that's the whole thing. You see how this whole thing is like, they love really hard, but when they lose that love, they hate even harder than they love. And yeah, that boost of hate, boost their chakra, boost their strength. And then, the Mangekyo, whatever the ability is, whether it's Susanoo or Amaterasu or whatever, it makes them stronger. Now, something I am still confused though is, like, are you? Well, nah. Since you seen Rand die, that did change his whole brain chemistry. But you still do have to train to withhold that speed, like to maintain that speed, I should say. So yeah.
Fight. And this is nowhere confirmed in the Naruto story, but it's the only conclusion we can take from it, is that whenever somebody awakens their Mangekyo Sharingan, they gain the innate knowledge of how to use their new abilities. Because Obito starts to use Kamui like a master from the Gekko. I mean, he doesn't use the sucking ability of Kamui, but he is phasing like he'd been using the jutsu for years. Not only that, but he is fast enough to go through the Anbu members and not get surprised by any of their attacks. He's able to phase through all of them. And he also awakens the capability of using wood style, which is pretty damn powerful for somebody that's not Hashirama. Obito's wood style is just behind Hashirama in modern. It's probably even stronger than Yamato's, to be fair. So it's almost as if Obito's potential as an Uchiha was awakened at that moment. He used to be a pretty...
The moment he got that Mangekyo Sharingan, everything changed, boy. His whole trajectory changed. Changed so much that he can fight the fourth Hokage. Crazy.
Unremarkable Uchiha. When he awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan, that changed. All the chakra he didn't have, all the powers he couldn't attain, they all washed over him at that moment. And yes, Spiral Zetsu was still around Obito when he was fighting against the Mist Anbu there. He was helping him out, but it was Obito in control. And because of the insane combo of Mangekyo Sharingan plus Hashirama cells, it meant his Mangekyo Sharingan would never run out of light, and I've already made a video about this. But he essentially had an EMS on his eye, which he could use to spam Kamui.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete
the most powerful ability in the verse, pretty much, combined with a reinforced body with regeneration capability.
Nah, low-key, Obito had to be patched, bro. Obito had to be patched. He had an EMS, essentially, plus regeneration. I seen him just rip his arm off, because, it would just heal itself. Dang. Like, that's crazy. And then, Itachi, remember, you said, yeah, you get these eyes, but, like, you lose the light in them. So the only way you can put the light back in them is take your brother's eyes. And that's what I'm going to do to you, Sasuke. Obito never had to worry about that. Hashirama cells for the win, bro.
is due to the Hashirama cells and more powerful chakra and physical capabilities because of the special Uchiha chakra that awakened alongside the Mangekyo Sharingan, and also however many additional months of training Obito would have to master these abilities before he would fight against Minato, because we don't know exactly when Rin died there and Obito went ballistic. We don't know how much time he spent training in Madara's cave. It feels like it's a decent amount of time, so I would say probably somewhere between 3 to 6 months, because after that, Obito also had to do stuff regarding Nagato's manipulation and everything after Madara dies, because when Obito first encounters Nagato, he is still wearing Spiral Zetsu around him, and we also see Obito go into the Leaf Village after that in the flashback anyway, so yeah, obviously it happened afterwards, but we don't know exactly how much time it passed. Regardless, it's obvious that Obito was training to become more powerful with those abilities, and also probably training to become better with Genjutsu so that he could control the Nine Tails, better at stealth, just overall.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Obito he had to be in the lab every day. Cause that jump in power is so crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I understand now. I didn't understand at the beginning of the video though.
Faster so that he could fight against Minato, but it's the sheer combination of buffs, the Mangekyo Sharingan, the additional special Uchiha chakra, half of his body made of Hashirama cells. Yes, all those things individually are already pretty damn powerful, but when you combine them, they become stronger than the sum of their parts, especially when it comes to the combination of Hashirama cells with the Mangekyo Sharingan. Obviously, from an out-of-universe perspective, Kishimoto needed that version of Obito to be pretty damn strong to give Minato a tough fight. The chapter Minato and Obito fight is literally called the Fourth Hokage's Death Match. Nobody dies from that death match. I mean, Minato dies a few minutes after that when he seals the Nine Tails and everything and gets pierced by the Nine Tails' claw, but obviously Minato's opponent there had to be extremely strong and give him a run for his money. Also, Kishimoto needed the audience to buy into the fact that this masked dude is Madara Uchiha, something that's also very much reinforced.
That's another thing though, is they did a good job hiding like the fact that this was Obito. Cause mind you, we literally seen Obito get crushed under a rock. So we not thinking this dude in this mask is Obito Uchiha. He has to be Madara. Look at what this man is doing. Obito was not moving like this when he was alive. There's no way this is Obito. And then the war arc come off. I think Naruto cracked Obito's mask, and we seen Kakashi was like, Obito? I thought you was dead, gang. This how you moving? Bro was so flabbergasted, bro.
By Minato saying as much during the fight, and I can see people saying he was too fast, that it doesn't make sense in universe, and that Kishimoto's necessity to have a powerful villain there wouldn't really match Obito's age because he would be too young to give Minato trouble, even with his newly gained powers. Because yeah, if you think about this for a second, since Minato died, up until the war arc when Madara was brought back to life, Obito had been the strongest ninja alive in the Naruto universe. If he is capable of fighting against Minato, he's capable of fighting against anyone, which makes it kind of weird as to how didn't more Jinchurikis got captured before Naruto Shippuden even started, right? Obito can just tell.
That's another thing I was thinking, right? Okay, so hear me out. I had reacted to a video talking about Itachi, right? And I said Itachi is not a spy. And people were saying in the comments of TikTok, they was like, oh, well, you know, he was there to sabotage the Uchiha and make sure Naruto didn't get captured. But I was thinking that literally, for one, he helped them capture Tail Beast. So that just goes out the window. Two, yeah, he made sure they didn't hurt the Leaf, but if you helping them catch everybody else, you might as well, you know. The other thing though is, if the Akatsuki banded together, they literally would just take over. They could just take the tail beast from every nation, no problem. No problem. Or, like the video just said, Obito could literally spawn to where Naruto is, use Kamui on him, and take him. Like, easily. He can do that to every... There is no attack you can do on Obito that will really just have any effect, unless the only thing I seen was when Conan had did them paper bombs on him that would last 10 minutes, but you have to know about his ability. And none of them knew how his ability worked, especially if they did it in the beginning of the show. That's easy work. All they literally have to do, all Obito has to do, spawn to where they're at, take them, and then boom. That's light work.
Teleport all around, pop in, pop out, capture Jinchurikis, do all those kinds of things. But obviously that has to do with the fact that he had to manipulate Nagato into doing those things, because Nagato was the one who could summon the Geromazo through his Rinnegan, and Obito, or Madara, had to make sure Nagato would think that the things he was doing were for his own benefit and the Rain Villages, that his plan to implement pain around the world was still being followed, and wait for the opportune moment when Nagato could cast Rinnegan and revive Madara, which was probably going to have to be done by Black Zetsu, because I don't see Nagato just saying, yeah, I'm going to die here and bring Madara back out of nowhere. I mean, Black Zetsu tried to do that in the Wark, but using Obito as the caster, so that was going to be what they would have to do anyways. And he didn't go after Naruto again because he couldn't extract the Nine Tails himself. He could only do that because Kushina was weakened due to childbirth.
Oh. Okay, I didn't know that.
And the Nine Tails was a little bit looser, so to speak. Also, Kushina's seal was much weaker than Naruto's seal that Minato used. So even though Obito was extremely strong, he had to bide his time. Especially when it comes to Itachi being around, because as Obito said many times, Itachi was a freaking eyesore to him, and he could ruin Obito's plans. Because yeah, Obito was probably the strongest ninja alive in the verse, but he wasn't invincible. People like Itachi or Nagato, they could be troublesome to him, but it still makes sense as to how Obito got that much more powerful than he used to be in his Leaf Village.
Alright, my brain has developed a little bit more after watching another Naruto video. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like the video, tell me what y'all think. Give me any theories or anything y'all got. And yeah, I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Peace!